can you tell the difference between the real thing or the emulation? Let's find out. Today, we are comparing the real microphone sound versus the direct out emulation, and whether or not you can tell the difference and how you might find benefit in using one or the other. Let's have a listen to some sounds. Could you tell the difference? Before we get into it, let's talk about the setup that we've got here today, and then we'll come back and hear some of the sounds in isolation. So to start, we've got an amp here that is the Blackstar St. James EL34 head and 2x12 cab. It's a closed back cabinet. We are miking it today with the most trusted of guitar amp mics, which is the Shure SM57. And we also have an AKG C414 condenser microphone on the cab as well. In the back of the amp, there is outputs, both XLR and USB outputs, that enable you to use emulated outputs to get mics and cab sounds straight into your DAW. Let's have a listen to the mics. Now, let's hear the exact same piece of music, but direct out of the head. Let's talk about the pros and cons of miking your guitar amp or your cab. So, first of all, you can choose the different mics that you use, and you can choose the different preamps, and you can tailor your sound exactly as you want. The problem, of course, with that is you have to have all of those different mics, and you have to have all of those different preamps in order to be able to get those options. You also, as we all know, usually need quite a bit of volume to get the best out of your guitar amp. So if you are, like most of us, recording at home or recording in small hobby studios, cranking this up to ear-splitting microphone pushing levels is probably not an option. The other annoying fact about microphones is microphone stands. Microphone stands, I will admit, are the bane of my existence. But if you want to have 3 or 4 different options on a cab like this, you're going to have to need stands everywhere. You don't need that with direct out. So that can be an advantage as well of direct versus mic'd. The other thing with mics is that you might only have one mic stand and one input, and you've got to change the mics over, and you slightly change the place and you lose your flow. There is nothing worse when you are being creative than losing your flow. So changing mics can really get in the way of that. Now, we're at an advantage here, of course, that we have a great team at NoiseGate of crack sound engineers that set up the NoiseGate Sound Studio in such a way that we can compare these two. So we have AKG's top of the line 414, and we have the standard SM57. We also would have another popular guitar mic being the Royer 121 ribbon mic. We've got all of these options. Now, a lot of us don't have these options at home. So this is where the advantage comes with direct outs. What, in this case, Blackstar have done is that they have emulated those different mic types, and you have them able to be selected as well as different cabs. So we've got one cab here. Now, it would be cool to have 25 different cabs with all the different speakers and all the different mics and all the different preamps, but it's not practical. And let's be honest, most of us don't have that kind of budget or studio. So we go straight out of the amp head. In the software, we choose what sort of mic we want on what sort of cab, and we can get a very, very wide range of usable tones. Okay, everybody stop asking the question. I understand you all want to know which one's best. The answer is all of them. And none of them, perhaps. All of them. Let's go with all of them. All of them because of the versatility that you get with these different arrangements. Now, obviously, like I said, we don't all have all of the microphones and all of the preamps that we need to get the tones that we want. But there can be some very, very cool sounds that you get when you just put a mic on in a random place on the cab, and the tone might be not what you expected, but actually something very cool and very usable. There's a lot of examples in history of bad guitar sounds that are iconic. The other option, or the other reality, of course, is that creative flow. Now, I absolutely love having something able and ready to be plugged in and ready to go instantly. I don't at home have 25 different cabs already mic'd up, ready to be recorded. I take my amp out, and it might be in the car from a gig, and I come home and I want to record something. I can't do it, or I can't be bothered, at least, getting my amp out of the car, setting up the mic stand and setting up all the mics and getting the preamps right and blah, blah, blah. But with something like this, I can just go straight in and I can put down an idea, and it can be 1 o'clock in the morning when I'm doing that. The ultimate sound of any guitar is more often than not a blend of multiple things. Whether it is multiple microphones, whether it is a close mic versus a room mic, whether it is 2 different outputs of a direct, or whether it is one mic, one direct output. You're going to find your perfect tone by getting a blend of things. So, what should you do? As always, try out a few different things. Try it for yourself. Run things against each other. A/B them for yourself. And remember, if it sounds good to you, that's all that it needs to do. If it sounds good, it is good. That simple. If you want to know more about the St. James series of amps, check out the link at the end of this video. I'm going to play out now, and you're going to hear a combination of the mic and the direct output. And you can hear how the combination of the two of them can be a really powerful tool. Thanks for watching Noise Gate. See you next time.